In the heart of lush Greenland, there was a peaceful kingdom called Nara. Nara was known for its beautiful rivers, tall mountains, and fertile fields. The people of Nara lived happily, farming the land, fishing in the rivers, and celebrating the season with joyful festivals. The kingdom was ruled by a young prince named Kato. Prince Kato was handsome, brave, and loved by all. He had a kind heart and always helped the people of Nara. The people adored their prince and believed he would lead them to a prosperous future. One day, as Prince Kato walked along the banks of the great river that flowed through Nara, he saw something glittering in the water. Curious, he bent down and was amazed to see a beautiful mermaid. Her scales shimmered like gold and her long hair flowed like the river itself. "Who are you?" Prince Kato asked, his heart beating fast. "I'm Mari, the mermaid of the river," she replied, her voice as soft as breeze. "I watched over this land for many years. I know you are the prince who will bring great fortune to Nara." Prince Kato was enchanted by Mari's beauty and gentle voice. He visited the river every day to see her. Soon they fell in love. Mari promised to protect Nara and bring prosperity to the kingdom if Kato would promise to marry her. Kato agreed, and Mari blessed the land. The fields became more fertile, the rivers flowed with fish, and the people of Nara prospered like never before. Everyone praised the prince for his wise decisions, not knowing about his secret love for the mermaid. But as time passed, Kato met a beautiful princess named Lila from neighboring kingdom. Lila was kind, graceful, and loved by her people. When Kato saw Lila, he forgot all about Mari. He decided to marry Lila and make her his queen. When Mari heard the news, she felt a deep pain in her heart. She had trusted Kato, believing in his promise. With tears in her eyes, she cursed the kingdom of Nara. "As the prince has betrayed me, let the land suffer. Let the rivers dry, the fields wither, and people despair until he keeps his promise." The next day, the sky over Nara turned dark. The rivers that once flowed freely stopped, and the fertile land became dry and barren. The people were confused and scared. They begged Prince Kato to save them, but he didn't know what to do. Kato was tormented by guilt. He realized his mistake, but it was too late. He had broken his promise, and now his kingdom was suffering because of it. Kato decided to visit Mari at the river to beg for her forgiveness. When he arrived, he found the riverbed dry and Mari nowhere to be seen. Desperate, he called out to her, but there was no answer. The prince felt lost, knowing he had brought this curse upon his people. Days turned into the weeks, and the situation in Nara grew worse. The people had no water, no food, and no hope. They began to blame their prince for their suffering. Kato knew he had to do something, but he didn't know where to start. One night, he heard a soft voice calling his name. He looked up and saw Mari standing before him, her eyes filled with sadness. "You broke your promise, Kato," Mari said softly. "You betrayed me, and now your people are paying the price." Tears filled Kato's eyes. "I'm sorry, Mari. I made a terrible mistake. Please forgive me and lift the curse. My people are innocent." Mari looked at him for a long time. "I will lift the curse, Kato, but only if you prove that your love for me was true. You must complete 3 tasks to show your sincerity. Only then will I know that you have learned the value of promise." Kato agreed, determined to save his kingdom. Mari told him what he must do. The first task was to find the lost jewel of the river. It was a precious gem that had been hidden deep within the mountains. The jewel was said to hold the power to restore life to the land. The second task was to bring back the heart of the forest, a rare flower that only bloomed once every 100 years. This flower had the power to heal any wound and bring peace to the troubled heart. The third task was the hardest. Kato had to bring back the tears of the sun, a drop of the golden sunlight that fell only at dawn on the highest peak of the tallest mountain. Kato knew these tasks were difficult, but he was determined to save his people. He set out on his journey, traveling through forests, crossing rivers and climbing mountains. The journey was long and dangerous, but Kato never gave up. After many trails, Kato found the jewel of the river hidden in a dark cave deep within the mountains. It glowed with a soft blue light, and as soon as he touched, he felt a surge of hope. Next, Kato ventured into the heart of the forest to find the rare flower. He searched for days, but it was nowhere to be found. Just when he was about to give up, he heard a soft voice calling to him. He followed the voice and found the flower blooming in the hidden grove, its petals shining like silver. Finally, Kato climbed the tallest mountain to find the tear of the sun. The journey was treacherous, and many times he almost fell, but he pressed on, and at dawn he reached the peak. As the first rays of sunlight touched the ground, a single drop of golden light fell from the sky. Kato caught it in a small vial, his heart filled with joy. With the three treasures in hand, Kato returned to the river to meet Mari. She appeared before him, her eyes filled with both hope and sorrow. "You've completed the task, Kato," Mari said, "but now you must choose. If you give me the treasures, I will lift the curse and your people will be saved. But you must also marry me and keep your promise. If you refuse, the curse will remain forever." Kato looked at the treasures in his hand, then at Mari. He realized that true love was not about beauty or wealth, but about keeping promises and staying true to your word. He knew what he had to do. "I will marry you, Mari," Kato said, his voice filled with determination. "I made a promise and I will keep it." Mari smiled, her heart filled with love. She took the treasures from Kato, and as she did, the land of Nara began to heal. The rivers flowed once more, the fields turned green, and the people rejoiced. But Mari knew that Kato still loved Lila, and she didn't want to force him into a marriage he didn't truly want. She had already seen his sincerity and loyalty. "You have proven your love and loyalty, Kato," Mari said softly. "You are free to marry whomever you choose. My curse is lifted and your kingdom is saved." Kato was overwhelmed with gratitude. He thanked Mari and promised to always honor his word from that day forward. Kato returned to Nara, where he married Lila. The people celebrated their union, and the kingdom prospered under their rule. But Kato never forgot Mari or the lesson she had taught him. He knew that a promise was scared and breaking it could bring great pain. In the end, Kato learned that true love is about honesty, loyalty, and keeping your word, and Nara lived in peace and prosperity for many generations, with Kato remembered as the prince who kept his promise. The story of Kato and Mari became a tale told to the children in Nara for many years, reminding them of the importance of staying true to their word and the power of forgiveness. And so, the moral of the story is a promise is a bond of should never be broken. For the cost of betrayal can bring great sorrow, but the reward of loyalty and truth are endless. I'm Kaya, so happy you joined me. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and share your opinion in the comments. Stay joyful. Goodbye for now.